Welcome to SEB Equities. Today in the studio we have the CEO of Nelly Group, Helena Karlinder-Östlundh. Helena, very welcome to SEB Equities.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
Over the past, say, soon 2 years, you've been implementing quite important changes to your assortment, which has been very important to drive profitability. Could you tell us some more on what you have actually changed and why?
Yes, absolutely. So, of course, being a fashion retailer, our assortment is at the very heart of our strategy and our business. And so we have driven a number of very important strategic shifts in our assortment over the last 2 years, a little bit more than 2 years. And, you know, really our assortment consists of our own brand, Nelly brands, as well as some external brands that we know that our customers really desire and ask for. And really over the last 2 years, the shifts we have driven can be summarized really in three ways. The first one really being that we have radically reduced the assortment breadth. That's been a very important shift in order to both be able to buy more depth, so buy more of fewer things that sell well. And that's been really important both for our customer in terms of navigating the assortment, but also in terms of us internally handling that assortment in a good way. We've also moved much more. We've traditionally been very well known and still are for party and occasion wear, where we have moved a lot more towards everyday fashion and strengthened our position in categories like denim and tops and knits and so on. And lastly, as well, we have focused a lot on our own brand assortment and grown our own brand share significantly. And that, again, is very important, both in terms of control, of course, over the assortment, but also in terms of margin, of course.
Yes, that's a perfect bridge to the next question.
Yeah.
So I note that your 12 months trailing margins are at very high levels in a historical context, reaching about 7.5% in Q3 this year. Could you elaborate some bit more on those margin drivers, please?
Yes, of course. And again, here we go back to the assortment, which has been a big part of that. And these changes in our assortment that I just mentioned have allowed us actually to also increase our full price share a lot, which of course makes a big difference. We have historically driven a lot of sales through discounts. So we have both increased our full price share and also actually been able to have lower average discount levels during the periods where we have driven sales through discounts. And of course, as I just mentioned, our own brand share increasing has had a very positive effect. So really a healthier assortment and a healthier business has enabled us to see this very positive development.
Mm. So I guess those drivers are mainly explaining the significant gross margin increase. But if we look at the cost development, you have made a significant investment in an automated distribution central some years ago. Mm-hmm. And I note that fulfillment and distribution costs of sales are quite low in a historical context now. Could you give us some more color on that and what you expect going forward, please?
Yes. Yep. So, of course, the level of automation that we have in our warehouse since 2021 has helped a lot with the efficiency. But the team there also, I must say, has continued to do a fantastic job of driving process improvements continuously to increase efficiency. And our warehouse, you know, was built for much more growth expectations back then. This was sort of back during the COVID days as well. So we are very pleased that we have a lot of potential there and room to grow into in terms of efficiency and growth.
Mm. Now, I also note that you've made a significant effort on return rates
Yes.
in your business. Could you give us a little bit more insight on why and what's going to be important going forward?
So I think the key there really has been that we've implemented a cross-functional strategy. So we have really looked at the whole business. How can every part of our business contribute to an improved return rate? And that's all the way from how we design our garments through to the actual returns process that the customer then sees and uses. So that's had a very positive effect on our return rate, and we will continue to implement that strategy going forward.
Mm. And the final question today to you, Helena, is, of course, in your flagship retail store.
Yes.
How important is that for your overall business and your strategy going forward, please?
So I would say at this point in our journey, it's been very important for us for several reasons. Of course, because we actually get to physically meet our customer there and have a different kind of dialogue, but it's also really been a shop window for our own brand. In the store, we have almost 80% own brand share. So it's a way for us to get new customers also to discover our Nelly assortment.
Really, really interesting. Helena, thank you very much for joining us here at SEB today.
Thank you.
And thank you for listening.